Time now to talk politics. I'm joined by Talk Business and Politics reporter Wes Brown, KATV's Maureen Glisovic. Thank you both for being here. We have all had a grueling week. Y'all have had a tougher week because you've actually been on location at Cummins, at the Varner unit, on all of the executions and non-executions that went down this week. Great work to both from both of y'all.
Thank you.
Let's begin. I want to hear some description of the experience, of the scene. What was it like being there with all this other media, not only state but worldwide, and just kind of what was the vibe?
Well, I think especially last night, and a little bit on the first night, when you get everybody together, it was kind of you got a sense of excitement as a reporter that you're covering something that's historic. And then once we got into the unit and you go through all the screening and things, then it becomes real, and you're in a prison. You're in a prison atmosphere, and then as the night goes on and things begin to happen, you go into your mode of being a reporter, and then you relax, and then you go back and
yeah, because there was so much on and off going on in the course of the night.
Yeah, then when it looks like something's going to happen, that someone might get executed, it becomes surreal. It just a kind of out-of-body experience. You know, you have to go through and prepare for the very fact at the end of the day somebody's going to die. You know, that
serious stuff. And
Absolutely.
And you were a media witness too,
Yeah,
so you even have some additional insight.
Yeah, you know, it was very interesting the first time, you know, once you've been selected to be a media witness, that's when it becomes even more surreal. And, you know, is this going to happen? Is this not going to happen? You know, there are so many, you know, we're in a legal limbo. We don't know what's going to happen. But the first time they took us back, you know, we sat in the van, we waited, you know, media does not get out, no doors open, you know. Then the guard came back in, brought us back, and there's a temporary stay issued at 8:15. You know, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? And so many questions throughout the media room. You know, we're waiting for updates from both
So what about
ADC.
you're in there and the curtain gets pulled back?
Wow.
What's that like?
That yeah, that was definitely surreal. You know, to describe, you know, just watching that, it didn't feel real at first. You know, the curtain's open, and it's almost like, am I watching a movie? Am I actually about to witness when I'm about to witness? You know, the lights are off in the witness room. You know, all you're seeing is getting the fluorescent lights from the chamber. It was very real at that moment in time. And as a journalist, you were trying to write down every single detail that you could think of. You're looking at the clock. You're paying attention to the details of what, you know, the administrators are doing, the doctor, what's going on with the inmate. You know, I know that many people as a journalist would like to know what the reaction is of everyone in that room, but, you know, I was front and center with the Arkansas Democrat Gazette as well as the Associated Press, and, you know, one quick glance, I looked behind me, but your focus shifts back to what's happening in front of you. There's no time to even, I can't tell you if somebody's eyes were closed in that room. Right. I can tell you it was quiet. Maybe a couple of coughs happened within, you know, our room, but that was pretty much it. I mean,
and then they come back to the reporters in the room.
Yeah, and while they are in there, you know, the first time they went in and they came out, everybody was running up to them and saying, well, what happened? And then
because you haven't been informed yet whether the execution took place or not.
Right.
Okay.
And then when they go back in, when it's really real, and there's this pensive kind of quietness in the newsroom or in the media center, that when they're coming back, when they're walking down the hall, and you know it's been done, and you're trying to figure out what time did it happen, what happened, what are they going to say, and even when they came back and they got in front of us, it was like, for a minute, the rest of the reporters couldn't ask a question. After they stopped talking, it was about a minute before anybody asked a question.
That was the interesting part too. You know, prior to us entering in there, you know, we had seen the ADC spokesperson as well as, you know, the governor's spokesperson, and they had asked us, do you guys need a minute? So they did ask us, and we took a minute to make sure that we all agreed, you know, do we all want to talk? Do we just want to have one that kind of, you know, speaks for all of us? You know, we kind of agreed that the best choice would be to have Sean from the Associated Press go ahead and present the timeline.
He's viewed some executions.
He has viewed some executions before, and you know, as a journalist who has not seen an execution before, it was comforting knowing that I was with a veteran who knew kind of what to expect, if you will. And so
you've talked to the Attorney General, Leslie Rutledge, too, who's talked to the victims' families. They did not talk immediately after the execution. What did you learn from her?
Well, just, you know, speaking to her, she had said that they heard from them that, you know, that evening, and they felt closure, you know, and they were hoping it would bring everyone to the family and everybody, that was involved in this closure, really, because it was a feeling of relief and justice had been served, and they were very thankful. She had said they were thankful that this was carried out and that it actually happened.
All right, in the time we got left from both of you, what can we expect next week?
Well, I think we're going to expect, as we said, there's going to be a flurry of legal filings, and then I think it's going to be the same process all the way up to the end of the clock at midnight or close to midnight, where you're going to get these filings, and then we're going to find out if Jack Jones and I think the other guys, Marcel Williams, are going to die, and that's the basic question.
That's pretty much it. I mean, I fully expect us to go to the last minute, and whenever the next set of media witnesses come, if it does happen, it's going to kind of be on a different side for me to see that.
I've been covering politics for 25 years, or been involved in politics or covering politics for 25 years, and I am really hard pressed to name another circumstance that has this element of drama and uncertainty. Even though there is some certainty, there still was a lot of uncertainty. I mean, it's different than even an election night where you think you know what the outcome is, and then you start to see the results and things change, and that usually is a pretty interesting night for political coverage, but this was a very similar thing. All right, got about 30 seconds left.
She told me something that was very poignant, that the scene that she saw, and I've heard other, Ziva Brandstetter, who's a Pulitzer finalist, told me the same thing, and she saw the botch. She said that incident that she saw will be in her mind for the rest of her life, and I think we, even as media witnesses, you should consider that.
Yeah.
I'll never forget something like that.
Maureen Glisovic, Wes Brown, thank you both very much. Appreciate you, and we will be talking this next week. That's all for today's Talk Business and Politics. Thanks for watching. I'm Roby Brock. We'll see you next time.